what World Wrestling Entertainment is all about.
WWE Clash in Paris. Today, WWE and Paris.
An absolutely incredible scene.
Create a masterpiece.
This is what World Wrestling Entertainment is all about.
WWE Clash in Paris. Today, WWE and Paris.
An absolutely incredible scene.
Create a masterpiece.
This is what World Wrestling Entertainment is all about.
WWE Clash in Paris. Today, WWE and Paris.
An absolutely incredible scene.
Create a masterpiece.
This is what World Wrestling Entertainment.
Then, now, forever. Together.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, a WWE Premium Live event has come to the 2,000-year-old European jewel, Paris, France. Located on the River Seine, Paris has hosted 3 different Olympic Games, including last year. However, tonight, the WWE takes over Paris. It has come to the Paris La Défense Arena, the largest indoor arena in all of Europe, where over 30,000 WWE fans are expected here tonight. At SummerSlam, CM Punk held the World Heavyweight Championship for just over 5 minutes before Seth Rollins cashed in Money in the Bank. Punk looks to right that wrong tonight. Main event, Jey Uso is here. He's in the Fatal 4-Way match, looking to regain the World Heavyweight Championship. He'll be accompanied later on by his cousin Roman Reigns. Roman actually kicks off the Premium Live event tonight against Bronson Reed. Also in the Fatal 4-Way for the world title, that man, LA Knight, looking to win his very first World Championship. He's the last man to beat the champion, Seth Rollins. And speaking of the architect and the head of the vision, the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins, his vision, complete dominance. And he hopes to again prove that live tonight at Clash in Paris.
Today, WWE and Paris.
An absolutely incredible scene.
Create a masterpiece.
This is what World Wrestling Entertainment is all about.
WWE Clash in Paris.
The spectacular Logan Paul, who claims he's going to do what Cena didn't have the guts to do, and that is ruin professional wrestling. Logan Paul takes on the greatest of all time, John Cena, live tonight. And welcome everyone to Countdown to Clash in Paris, presented by Cricket. And look where we are tonight for the very first time, I believe, in the history of Countdown. We are in the center of the ring as the La Defense Arena fills up with what's going to be about 30,000 WWE fans here tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'm Michael Cole and my great panelists, including the former WWE champion, Mr. Money in the Bank, the great Big E. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm next to Wade Barrett. Oh, bless you, bless you, bless you. Wade, I don't know if you're familiar with the movie Home Alone, but Lenny McAllister said, oh, this is lovely, "You're what the French call les incompetents." You know that reference at all? Home Alone? It's a
Je
great
n'aime pas Big E.
And also here, the five-time Intercontinental Champion, none other than Wade Barrett.
Vive la France, vive la liberté! What an honor to be back here in Paris. And first of all, before we go any further, huge congratulations in order for Michael Cole. Now, the New York Times and The Athletic put out a piece this week highlighting the most impactful play-by-play voices of the 21st century. Michael Cole was named on there alongside the likes of Al Michaels, Mike Trico, Joe Buck, and indeed our very own Joe Tess. Cole, I love ribbing you all the time, but I've got to say, you are the GOAT of this industry. A massive accolade. Congratulations, Michael Cole.
Well, thanks. I'm humbled and privileged by that, but I couldn't do it without guys like you and, of course, Wade Barrett, who will be carrying the load with me ringside tonight, calling all the action at Clash in Paris. And what a card it's going to be. Let's run through it now and show you what to expect here in Paris tonight. We mentioned it just a few moments ago. Logan Paul is, trying to get the respect from the greatest of all time, the 17-time world champion John Cena. It's Cena and Paul here live tonight. The Street Profits Friday night on SmackDown, well, they would win a big matchup to advance to this match here tonight. It's the Street Profits trying to get their tag titles back against the team who beat them last month, the Wyatt Six. To kick off Clash in Paris tonight, the original Tribal Chief is here. Roman Reigns goes into action against one of the members of the Vision, the Oscilla, Big Bronson Reed, tonight. And this is going to be an absolute banger. A good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. Rusev and Sheamus, anything goes, any weapon available. Sheamus and Rusev tonight. Nikki Bella claims that Becky Lynch is desperate to keep her championship, desperate for the accolades that come her way. Nikki Bella looking to add the Intercontinental Championship to her Hall of Fame resume. These two clash tonight. And of course, it's the fatal four-way for the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins will take on LA Knight, CM Punk, and Jey Uso. No champion's advantage tonight because the first man to gain pinfall or submission will become the World Heavyweight Champion in this fatal four-way in Clash in Paris. Well, Big E, Wade Barrett, and myself aren't the only WWE broadcasters here in Paris tonight. We have plenty that are roaming around throughout the entire stadium. We're going to be hearing from them throughout the night as they do interviews and whatnot as we get ready for Clash in Paris. A lot to talk about tonight, and we're going to talk at length coming up about the World Heavyweight Championship match, the fatal four-way match. But again, no champion's advantage for Rollins tonight, Big E.
Not at all. Look, he's in the ring with three guys who can all easily be world champions. We're looking at LA Knight, someone who has never held that title, the only combatant in this match who has never held that title. Look, kind of one of the things that I have really focused on is we've seen CM Punk be someone who's trying to corral the troops a bit here, kind of expecting that the Vision will be involved with this match, and they struggle to get on the same page. Look, I want to see three guys who are all vying for the World Championship and aren't worried about alliances, but to some degree, when you know the Vision is always circling like sharks in a pool, at some point, those guys have to figure out a plan for that.
Well, we're going to get Wade's thoughts on this and talk a lot more about this main event in just a little bit. But let's head back now to one of the broadcasters I said was in the house, none other than Peter Rosenberg.
Cole, thank you very much. And yes, I am here on the arena floor. And I have to tell you, this place is incredible. Paris, how are we feeling so far? People are trickling in as we speak. And man, I got to tell you, this is an impressive room. The set is amazing. And there's a lot of pressure when it comes to that fatal four-way tonight for the World Heavyweight Championship. And one thing I think it's important to focus on is the dynamics within that match, right? Everybody feels they have a claim to that championship. LA Knight, of course, feels that he was screwed over on Monday Night Raw when he had his chance by CM Punk. Jey Uso, of course, feels it's his time to get a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. And CM Punk, obviously, no one with more of a chip on their shoulder after what happened at SummerSlam than CM Punk. But the key is these guys can't focus on each other. They have to focus on that championship. And later on tonight, I'm going to talk to Jey Uso about the advice that he got from his big cousin, Roman Reigns, about keeping the eye on the prize. Very excited for that match. And let me send it over to Kathy Kelly.
Well, Peter, we got to talk about Logan Paul versus John Cena. This match has so many eyes on it, and it is the same song and dance that we've heard from Logan since the beginning of his tenure in WWE, claiming complete credit for the company's successes, whether that's its broadcast successes and milestones, or record profits, or number of fans tuning in every week. As if he's not standing across the ring from John Cena tonight, the man who is actually responsible for leading the company through multiple eras. It's clear that this matchup is defined by contrasting levels of both experience and humility. And Logan Paul, whether you hate him or you really, really hate him, the fact of the matter is he has outperformed industry veterans in the past, and there is a very real possibility that we could see him walk out of Paris with a victory over John Cena. For more on the Never Seen 17, let's head over to Jackie Redmond. Kathy, thank you so much. As we all know, there is a large disparity here when it comes to experience. I mean, John Cena has won more matches at premium live events than Logan Paul has wrestled ever in his life, period. So you might be sitting at home wondering, why is John Cena wasting his time with Logan Paul? Why is John Cena gifting Logan Paul the opportunity to be in one of his last matches ever? Well, the reality is, John Cena sees something in Logan Paul. He said as much. He sees the potential. He sees the work ethic. He sees the in-ring ability. But John Cena has stood for more than hustle for 20 plus years. He's also stood for loyalty and respect. And those are two things that he does not see in Logan Paul to this point. He looks at Logan Paul and sees a budding WWE superstar walking around like he's already got it all figured out. So John Cena is giving Logan Paul the opportunity to prove it. So tonight at Clash in Paris, either Logan Paul is walking out of France with the biggest win of his career, or John Cena is showing Logan Paul that he still has a lot to learn. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Jackie. There's so much to break down in this matchup, and I want to just go a little bit further on the point that Jackie was just making. I had an opportunity to sit down with John Cena earlier this afternoon, and I asked John, what is it about Logan Paul? Why are you so keen on teaching him respect tonight? And what John told me was this: he believes Logan Paul, if he dedicates himself to this craft, could be one of the greatest to ever step foot in this ring. Now think about that. The greatest of all time is saying this about Logan Paul. What Cena says, though, Wade, and you and I debated this a bit this afternoon, is Cena says that if Logan Paul puts as much time and effort into this that he does in creating a multi-billion-dollar company, then Logan Paul could be the greatest of all time.
Okay, hold on a second. So John Cena, the guy who had to grind for years and years and years to get to the very top, earning minuscule paychecks, working in front of crowds of 10 or 20 people in Louisville, Kentucky. He's trying to give advice to the guy who shortcut all of that, got straight to the top, and has gone toe-to-toe with the likes of Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and held his own. I would say if you're Logan Paul, put your fingers in your ears and ignore anything John Cena tries to tell you. Yes, John Cena, for many, is the greatest of all time. However, Logan Paul is well on his way to achieving everything John Cena has achieved, but by doing it much, much faster.
So you're trying to tell us that Logan Paul doesn't need to take any advice from John Cena?
Yes.
Nothing.
That is
Not what
the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard.
There's more than one way to skin a cat. John Cena is from the old school. That is the way things used to be done. Logan Paul, on the other hand, in every industry he's conquered, is a disruptor. He's a disruptor because he does it his way. His way works for him. 20 or 30 years ago, it might not have worked. It works today. He is utilizing the methodology of social media and the kind of spotlight he can pull in to take himself to the very top. John Cena never had that option. It's an old man telling a young man how to do things, and the old man is getting it wrong.
Big E, I'll make the argument of this. Now, we've all been impressed with Logan Paul. There's no doubt about it. He has stepped foot into the ring, and he has performed against the greatest, as Wade has said. The problem is Logan Paul has never won a world championship, and that is always the mark that you need to reach. You know better than anyone, to be considered one of the all-time greats in this ring. Logan has not done that, and I don't know if he can get there if he doesn't dedicate everything to this.
Absolutely. Look, and the man has all the physical talent in the world. I think that is undeniable. But when we're thinking about some of the greatest champions to ever walk through these halls, I think of people like Bret Hart. Even on our current roster, I think of someone like Sami Zayn. When we're talking about what allows you to get to the mark of greatness, what truly measures greatness, is having that desire for this. Does he live and breathe this? Does he love this? I see someone who is here worried about viral clicks. He's worried about getting the right drone shots. The physical tools are there. What I question is whether he has the heart and the desire to truly be great at his craft.
I would argue that of every celebrity who has come from the outside world into our world and given this a shot, has pretty much had one, maybe two matches, and then they're like, you know what? I thought this would be easy. It actually really hurts, and I'm kind of done. I'm going to dip out and go back to my main industry and make money elsewhere. Who hasn't done that? Logan Paul. 4 years now, he has been coming back for more and more. He's been knocked out. He's been humiliated in the ring. He's been tortured in the ring. He keeps coming back for more while simultaneously managing all the other industries that he's dominating. So to imply that somehow this guy is not committed, to me, is beyond the pale. It's an insult, and it's just plain wrong.
Well, and I agree with you on some of those points, but I do want to talk just briefly now about John Cena. Obviously, this is the retirement tour. The last time is now. It's the last time he'll ever perform in a WWE ring here in Paris, France. It happens tonight. He's only got a couple of more dates left. He's got 3 months left before he finally has his final match in January. I'm glad that we are seeing the old John Cena once again. I'm glad that he's going to appreciate the 30,000 plus that are going to show up here in Paris tonight and along the ride the next few months, that he's going to appreciate the WWE fans that got him where he is today.
Absolutely. And for me, that's not just about crowd reaction. It's not about whether people boo or cheer him. To me, that also aligns with his performance. We saw against Cody Rhodes, we saw the best version of John Cena that I think we'd seen in years, maybe since the AJ Styles feud. I had questioned whether the wheels had fallen off for John Cena. He talked about ruining wrestling, and sometimes I wondered, is this a guy who's trying to cover for the fact that he ain't got it anymore? He's not what he once was. But seeing that title match against Cody Rhodes, that man still has got it, and I think seeing that version of John Cena, someone who is now embracing the love of the crowd, also turn in one of the best performances we've seen from him in years, I think is really telling, and I'm excited for this crowd to get that version of John Cena.
Okay, let's break this match down real quick. Predictions, who wins?
John Cena.
Wade?
Logan Paul, knockout punch.
Really?
Yes, right on the jaw. John Cena has embarrassed Logan Paul with his words the last couple of weeks. Who got the last laugh with that big shot to the jaw? Logan Paul. That is a dangerous fight.
I give Logan Paul a chance, but I can't see John Cena losing in his last
match in Europe. Not
Paris.
a chance.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, our countdown to Clash in Paris continues live from inside La Défense Arena. 30,000 plus expected. The countdown rolls on.
Like a dream. You walked into my life just like a dream. Till you haunt me like a dream.
WrestleMania 41 was the most successful WrestleMania in history. We shattered every record from attendance to viewership. So we're running it back to the sports and entertainment capital of the world.
I had a dream, I had a vision, I had to work for this and you didn't.
It's time to double down, Las Vegas. WrestleMania returns in 2026. Are you ready? Now get me off of this thing.
This item
to hold a concert at Paris La Défense Arena, which has since seen performances from the likes of Paul McCartney, Kendrick Lamar, Taylor Swift, and now WWE.
Well, now not just WWE, but WWE Clash in Paris. The arena filling up, over 30,000 WWE fans expected here tonight. And our main event is going to be the fatal four-way match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins defends against LA Knight. Main event, Jey Uso and CM Punk.
Je veux pour toujours vivre ma vie en ces temps présents, en ces moments réels.
The ruse of the century. Shame on every single one of you.
I always have a plan B. I've been a marked man for months. I have a Seth Rollins problem.
This is the way forward. Rewind our mind just a little bit. You faked an injury, but I got the 3 count.
We have
Absolute power. I'm tired of all of y'all because I ain't get my rematch. Receipts are coming. And there is nobody who can stop us.
Seth, you're a liar. You're a master manipulator.
It's a fatal four-way at Clash in Paris. Now, Paris, Seth Rollins, it's gonna get worse for you, Oos.
I'm obsessed with holding the World Heavyweight title because it was ripped from me.
You get your rematch after I get mine.
Who next up the bet? Tit for tat. Soon as they would get, it's a wrap. You ain't built like me to take the heat. I done took the torch from every match. Get back, bitch, stay out my lane. This ain't hunger for no minimum wage. Don't pretending like this isn't my game. This that hunger that he never was played. I ain't saving face, this is fake. We're not gonna get there unless we stick together. You've got to be kidding me. Seth Rollins is the problem. He has the numbers. He's trying to get you to the match.
I just don't want to owe nobody no favors. Once we get to Paris, it's every man for themselves.
Time to pick up the pace.
We don't have a problem. I'd like to keep it that way.
I got a Seth Rollins problem. You got a Seth Rollins problem. You're welcome for saving your career.
You don't know what's good for you, so you need visionaries like me to tell you what is good for you. Told you I wanted it all, I'm not kidding. Who would have thought the story I told is true? You was real before the show the proof. Smiling now, you thought I was going to lose. And there is nobody who can stop me.
Got LA Knight, CM Punk beefing over here. I don't know who to trust.
Put me down, time to pick up the pace.
Man, if things broken down quickly. Every man for himself. A fatal four-way for the world title.
Kathy Kelly here with CM Punk, and let's talk about your match tonight. You know Seth very well. You know the vision and what they're capable of. You tried to rally your other competitors in this match, knowing the tactics that could be used tonight. Unfortunately, that was unsuccessful. So tell me the revised plan going into this match.
I know Seth very well. I know the people of Paris very well too, and it's been way too long since I've been here. So I'm looking forward to embracing the chaos, right? Because that's what Seth's going to do. I was in his position at one time. I was champion of the world, and I thought I needed to surround myself with a bunch of goofs whose sole job was to make sure I remained champion. And look how that turned out. LA Knight's been belly aching about who's friends and who's not, and what's an accident and what's on purpose. And then Jey Uso, of all people, super kicks me on a Monday night. And I got a little receipt for him coming tonight. The odds are not in Seth's favor. I don't care who's in his corner. The Bronze, he can, Paul Heyman can come off the top rope. It doesn't matter. You'd like to see that, wouldn't you? Yeah, I'm moving on that one. At the end of the night, hand raised in victory in Paris, CM Punk, because everybody else is going to sleep.
Well, I know you've got a lot on your mind ahead of that World Heavyweight Championship match, so thank you so much. I'm going to send it to Peter, who I think is with one of your competitors, Jey Uso.
Thank you, Kathy. I am here with Jey Uso, vying for that World Heavyweight Championship tonight. First of all, let me ask you, though, how has Europe been for the people's champ, Jey Uso?
Fire, Us. Fire. Just been out here hitting a whole bunch of great towns, Us. Trying to finish the tour off strong. Trying to get the W tonight. Just been eating soup and bread the whole time out here, Us, because they ain't got no Waffle House, man. Come on, Us.
No, Paris not known for Waffle House. Now, one thing that people worry about when it comes to Fatal 4-Ways is distractions, allegiances, worrying about other people. Your cousin Big Us, Roman Reigns, made it clear that is not the way. How much will his advice factor in tonight's matchup?
I'm bringing it all tonight, Us. He said no friends, man. Stop, no more help. You know what I'm saying? Do it for me tonight, Us. Go out there, smash them all. I done kicked them all in the face last week, man. I'm ready to do it tonight, Us. I got to bring home that title around my waist, man, just one more time, Us. One more time.
He's trying to become a two-time World Heavyweight Champion, Jey Uso. Back to you guys.
So, Big E, let's talk about Jey Uso for a moment. And they mentioned what happened on Raw Monday. Roman's saying enough. I mean, you can't help everybody. You got to worry about yourself. And Jey went out and did that this past Monday night. Will he continue along those same lines tonight?
Look, I love Jey. We go way back, but I'm a little concerned. And this is not to say that he shouldn't be taking advice from someone who has been at the very top of our industry, one of the greatest to ever do it in his cousin, Roman Reigns. But the fact that you're about 15, almost 20 years in, you're a veteran, you've been a world champion, you've held countless tag team titles, to me, I'm a little concerned that he needs a pep talk, that he needs direction, that he needs someone in his ear to remind him to block out the noise. And it's great advice from Roman. But my concern is if Jey Uso doesn't realize who he is at this point, if he isn't already as focused and as dialed in as he should be and needs to lean on other people, I'm concerned that he's not in the right headspace.
I am astounded that Jey Uso came to the culinary gastronomic capital of planet Earth, Paris, and complained that they don't have a Waffle House. I'm too concerned where this guy's head is at.
You ate a pizza last night, but
I was drunk, admittedly. Okay, things are different then.
But, you know, the Fatal 4-Way, and you guys have been in plenty of them in your career, you can't trust anybody. It's every man for himself. And that, to me, seems to fit CM Punk's MO perfectly.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the biggest issue here, every man is for himself. However, there is a unified hatred between three of those people, especially for the current champ, Seth freaking Rollins. Seth Rollins, really for the past 9 months, has done nothing but make enemies left, right, and center. And that's great when he's got backup. He doesn't, in theory, have any backup with him tonight in this matchup. Although,
well, there's
watch
no
this
disqualification.
space. We never quite know how that's going to play out. But I'll tell you right now, this is not going to be 1 versus 1 versus 1 versus 1 at the very off. It's going to be 3 versus Seth Rollins when that bell rings. And that could put a dampener on Seth Rollins' chances tonight.
Yeah, no champion's advantage because the first man to gain pinfall or submission becomes the champion. Let's talk about LA Knight. You went through it in your career for a long time, wondering if you were ever going to get another chance, ever have an opportunity to win a world title. LA Knight has never won a world championship at this level. He's the last person, however, to beat Seth Rollins, even though it was the night that Seth faked the injury and went on to the story we all know. But for LA Knight, each and every time he has an opportunity at the championship is critical, especially tonight, because he may never get it again.
This could be it. And look, he's a guy, I think the last several years, a lot of people have penned as a future world champion, and you worry if he starts to fall into this category of always a bridesmaid, never a bride. A guy who has the ability, I think it's written all over him, and you wonder, I start to wonder now, like we've seen the vision, but is the vision complete? Is this a guy who aligns himself with the vision potentially to get to that next level, like the Bronze did? You know, we see two guys in the Bronze who have the potential and now aligning with Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins that has taken their career to the next level. I wonder for LA, if he doesn't get it done here tonight, where does he go? That allyship with Paul could be it. I keep wondering, what is that piece that we're not thinking about? And I think we're having so many conversations about the feud between Punk and Seth. We talk about Jey Uso getting back to the mountaintop, and I think oftentimes we're wondering where LA Knight fits in all this. I think LA has to capitalize on this opportunity, and I don't know, you know, it kind of has to be by any means necessary.
And I think there is a point to be made. You brought it up, the fact that LA Knight is the only non-former world heavyweight champion in this matchup. That gives a lot of performers, and I had it myself in my own career, imposter syndrome, where you don't quite feel like you belong in the ring with these guys who've reached the mountaintop. But I'll say right now, I'm pretty sure Paris is buzzing with some undeniable cavorca for LA Knight. I got them. I got them. I said we, they said yeah.
Right,
I'm
right,
in
naturally.
France. Come on, guys, it's your language.
That's how it goes.
But to your point, it's like they always use this adage in golf: the best golfer to never win a major. And LA Knight's had an extraordinary career, and he's going to go down as a great in-ring performer. But again, tonight, I think, is his best opportunity. Fatal four-way rules. Just get that one moment when you have the opponent isolated and can win a world title.
Absolutely. He's a guy who's immensely talented, but you keep wondering when is he going to get over that hump. I hope it's tonight. I really do, because I think he's absurdly talented.
Let's talk about Seth Rollins, the champion. Again, no advantage for Seth Rollins tonight, but you just know that Rollins has something cooking. And we mentioned Bronson and Braun, Paul Heyman. There's no disqualification in this match. You got to know he's got something brewing.
I think so. You know, when you have those three competitors in the ring, when you have the fact that there's no DQ whatsoever either, you always wonder who's going to come into play, what other chips are going to be involved. And I think those three, you mentioned a little while ago that it's going to be those three against Seth Rollins. I'm not so sure that's the case. We had many opportunities over the last several weeks to have CM Punk kind of align the troops, rally them together, and they've shown a lot of resistance to that. So I'm not sure to what degree those guys are going to be ready for any other outside factors here tonight.
Because, again, you would have to team up to try to take them out, right? I mean,
to be clear, I think that's going to happen in the first minute or so of the match. I think the damage will be done to Seth right off the bat, and then it's every man for himself.
Predictions.
I'd like to see LA Knight. I'm going LA Knight. First world championship.
Heist of the century, ruse of the century. Paul Heyman in your corner. There's going to be something up Seth freaking Rollins' sleeve. Seth Rollins retains tonight.
I have to agree with Wade Barrett. I believe Seth Rollins retains the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, we are going to find out, because we are rapidly approaching Clash in Paris here in Paris, France at the La Défense Arena. Also joining us tonight, WWE's Chief Content Officer, The Game, the Hall of Famer, Paul Triple H Levesque is here. We're going to hear from The Game when we return to the Countdown Show for Clash in Paris.
Welcome, everyone, to the biggest event of the summer.
For more than 35 years, SummerSlam has delivered some of the most amazing moments in WWE history.
I am completely in shock right now.
And in 2026, we will once again make history.
Fasten your seatbelts. It is about to go down. Let's go!
Saturday, August 1st and Sunday, August 2nd, 2026 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Live from the world-class US Bank Stadium, WWE will bring two epic nights of SummerSlam to the Twin Cities. So there's only one question to ask. Are you ready?
This November,
It is quite the feeling here. It is electric.
the Padres home field gets a whole new lineup. When WWE
An absolutely incredible scene.
hits Petco Park,
A slugfest for the ages.
Oh my goodness. The epic performance that no one will ever forget.
WWE Survivor Series San Diego. Tickets on sale now.
Main event, Jey Uso. And Uso's got life. And a third, and the champ still on his feet, driven to the corner.
Where is Jey finding this energy? What is Jey Uso tapping into?
And now the champ still on his feet. Jey again with a spear.
Priest is down, and Uso's going to make the climb again.
Jey, top rope. Uso splash. Cover for the world heavyweight. Oh my goodness, Damian McDonough.
almighty.
The Priest foot on the bottom rope.
Somebody's got to do something about this guy.
This is 3-on-1 out here. J.D. McDonough clearly just saved the championship for Damian Priest. And we don't need a translator for that. Because I agree.
But in doing so, J.D. McDonough sucked the wind out of this arena. Notice how calm it's become. That may be exactly how Damian Priest wants it right now, and J.D. McDonough is to thank or blame, depending on your perspective.
And Damian Priest, no clue what hit him. J.D. McDonough knows what hit him, though. A flying Uso. And a spear to Balor.
Let's cut the Prince in half. And yet again, Jey Uso looking to make the long climb.
Yeah, but Priest making it back to his feet. And Damian Priest drops Jey Uso, causing him to lose his balance. And now Jey Uso is where Priest wants him. Damian Priest lifting Jey Uso up high with a South of Heaven choke slam from the ropes. And Damian Priest retains.
Here is your winner, and still the World Heavyweight Champion, El Campeón, Damian Priest!
Well, Damian Priest may not have wanted the help of J.D. McDonough and Finn Balor of Judgment Day, but those two men ensured that Damian Priest would still be the World Heavyweight Champion. And now Balor and J.D. McDonough unloading on Jey Uso.
Wait a minute.
The Louvre opened in 1793 and located in the heart of Paris is the world's largest art museum and home to some of the greatest works in history, including Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa, as well as legendary Greek sculptures Venus de Milo and Winged Victory.
And the Louvre, of course, just a small part of beautiful Paris, France, home to today's Clash in Paris, where the crowd is sure to once again bring a whole new level of excitement to today's event. as our own Joe Tessitore details.
WWE crowds are flat out different than any sports experience. They're not just reacting to an event. Their passion creates a palpable atmosphere. It transforms the meaning and depth of a match as it unfolds. And after an unforgettable night in Lyon, France at Backlash 2024,
the camera is bouncing.
It's become clear that the international audiences have set the new standard for the WWE universe. Whether it's Brussels,
Look at this place! A yeet down in B-Town! What an atmosphere!
Glasgow,
It is live, it is loud. The Ovo Hydro is rocking.
Riyadh,
There are no words to describe the atmosphere inside the Kingdom Arena tonight. It is absolutely electric.
or Barcelona.
They might have to turn up our mics this evening. What a raucous atmosphere here.
These global audiences have in many ways become the beating pulse of WWE. Their excitement, shock, and awe amplify the drama of the action inside the ropes. The way these crowds sing along to entrance songs, how they chant with such fervor, has made it where superstars have no choice but to take notice.
Your OTC loves you.
Hard to be mad when you come out here to an ovation like that. You guys have gotten me all flustered. Thank you very much.
Many superstars are learning just how strongly you feel about them.
Y'all know exactly who I am. That's why you're here tonight.
No. Don't you do that. You put some appreciation on my name. Cállate!
And Randy Orton found out that the voices weren't just in his head.
You guys singing along to my music means the world to me.
From Ireland to Australia to Saudi Arabia, everywhere in between, wherever our WWE superstars go, it's become obvious the fans know this contagious atmosphere that they've created transcends the squared circle.
Riyadh! خليهم يسمعوا صوتكم يلا!
C'est vraiment spécial d'être ici, c'est vraiment spécial pour moi de pouvoir parler à une foule en français.
The audience is the show.
Now, as we've made our way back to France for Clash in Paris, we're fully prepared for this city of lights to light up the decibel meter like we've never heard it before.
Internationally for WWE, and I am here with one of the French voices of WWE, Nadir Mohammadi. Nadir, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much, Peter. Ça va derrière?
Now, Nadir, I gotta ask you, there's an incredible wrestling history in the city of Paris. Take us a little bit through the history specifically here in Paris.
Of course. In the 60s, 70s, it was the golden era of pro wrestling. Élysée Montmartre, with such big legendary names. Cher et Bibi, René Benchemoul, L'Ange Blanc, et j'en passe, a lot of big names. And then after moving forward, WWE came for the first PLE last year. In 2024, it was epic, everybody talked about it.
And now, of course, here we are, the first ever live television in Paris. It's gonna be epic. Who do you think the people are gonna be rooting for the most, knowing the Paris audience the way you do?
Good question. Do you think you're going to be excited for Logan Paul? Or Jey Uso?
Fair enough, fair enough. Now, I have to imagine some of you are also here to see John Cena. Lewis is here. Lewis, where did you come from for the show today?
Scotland.
You came all the way from Scotland just to see John Cena?
Yeah.
It's going to be epic. John Cena's last time in Europe tonight at Clash in Paris. It's going to be amazing. Nadir, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Casual way to talk to our boss, Peter, but before we get back to the panel, have to introduce Chief Content Officer Paul Triple H Levesque. I know you're a very busy man, so I always appreciate the time. But tonight, we always talk about how electric the crowds are when we come overseas, and this tour has been no different. So what do you think they can expect tonight?
Expect more of the same. Look, you said it, these international tours, the crowds are off the charts, especially here. Leon the other night lived up to its reputation on SmackDown of one of the loudest crowds we've ever been in front of. I think tonight here in Paris, if the last few days of me getting to go out, go to the Eiffel Tower, do some sightseeing and meet a lot of fans, tonight is going to be off the chart. This crowd is going to be insane. We've got 30,000+ people here. It's going to be off the chart.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Lyon, and you said last time we had to come back to France.
Yes.
This is the second PLE now in France, the first in Paris. So from your perspective, what do you think everyone's going to see out there?
I know this, what they're going to see probably is this crowd blow the roof off this building.
Yes.
It's rare that we have a building of this size with a roof on it. It might not be here for much longer. This card is stacked. This event is stacked. Whether it's Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, to Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed, to Seth, Punk, LA Knight, Jey Uso, Sheamus, Rusev. I mean, it is all stacked. We're in for an incredible night of action, and I think this crowd is going to put us over the top. Paris, you've seen Lyon, you've seen the rest of the UK. You've got your work cut out for you, but I believe in you.
Well, you mentioned that Women's Intercontinental Championship match, and I am very excited for it. So let's take a look at how we got here between Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella.
And still, the man retains the Intercontinental title.
Ding dong, Lyra is gone. It is time to open the floor to new competitors. Competitors who understand what it is to step in the ring with me. To understand that they are stepping in the ring with the greatest female wrestler of all time. You can look, but you can't touch.
Oh, hey, Becky. I was just listening to you back there, and I have to say, Becky Lynch really is one of the greatest of all time. And it was superstars like Becky Lynch why I knew it was okay to take a step away because the women's division was in such great hands. You turned out to be such a disappointment. Why don't you face me one-on-one, Nikki Bella versus Becky Lynch?
You know why we never went one-on-one?
A cheap shot by Becky. Fireworks here tonight between the Intercontinental Champion and the Hall of Famer Nikki Bella. Natalya versus Becky, Intercontinental Championship.
Becky, enough is enough. Match is over.
There comes Nikki Bella, the woman who was embarrassed by Becky Lynch a couple of weeks ago. Back attack 2.0.
That's how you make a statement.
Becky Lynch wants to say she's holding everyone down. Pretty soon, Becky will be holding nothing, especially that Intercontinental Championship. Until then, I'll be holding you down. So, Becky, I will see you in Birmingham next week. Thank you.
Nikki Bella thinks she can call me out to my ring.
Hey, Becky, why are you acting like a little bitch? If you're not one, Becky, then there should be no problem facing me for that title.
You don't call the shots. And I'm not gonna just give away title opportunities, especially not to broke-neck Barbie over here.
Is this what the man has become? Has the man lost her balls?
Okay, you want your match? Fine. Fine, you can have your match in Paris at Clash. I never wanted to respect you. I wanted to replace you. And I've done a pretty good job.
You know what, Becky? I know why you're so mad. No matter how hard you try, your name will never be as big as Bella. At Clash in Paris, you will hear Bella, the new Intercontinental Champion.
Becky went for a cheap shot. Nikki Bella was ready. Nikki Bella hopes to add the Intercontinental Championship to her Hall of Fame resume. And of course, that's one of the feature matches tonight at Clash in Paris at La Défense Arena. It is filling up now. We're expecting over 30,000 WWE fans to be here in just about an hour and 11 minutes when we start Clash in Paris. We're going to talk all about Becky and Nikki in just 1 second, but I think I misspoke earlier. John Cena's final match will actually be in December of this year. I believe I might have said January, but Cena wraps up his retirement tour in December of this year. Nonetheless, let's switch gears now and talk about Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella. And I want to talk about the word respect, because Nikki Bella believes that, well, Becky Lynch doesn't respect her. Nikki Bella uses another word, and that is, well, concern, perhaps, that Becky Lynch needs to be respected, that Becky Lynch is desperate. Desperate for all the accolades from not only WWE fans, but from the media, the people that tell her she's so great. Desperate that she may lose her championship. Desperate that she may lose the spotlight. Desperate that she will be forgotten when she leaves the WWE ring. That is how Nikki is trying to play the mind games tonight.
Since when was being desperate for success an insult? Becky Lynch is somebody who has completely changed the game since the era of Nikki Bella, the Divas era. And Nikki Bella was fantastic. She was the top performer within the confines that she had to work in that era. The game has changed. It's not even close these days. Now, Becky Lynch is somebody who has dragged women's wrestling into the 21st century and beyond. She is the standard bearer of how great women's wrestling is today. Becky Lynch was a Hall of Famer many years ago. She'd won it all many years ago. She could go and retire on a desert island with all her millions or clear off to Hollywood anytime she wants. The fact that she is desperate to stay as the #1 in this industry is something we should be applauded, and I am absolutely disgusted in Nikki Bella's words.
Disgusted, eh?
Yes.
I think you do make a great point in many ways. I wouldn't frame it quite the way that you did, but I think we're seeing a Becky Lynch. I think back to when Becky came up around the time with Nikki that was referenced before, and this is a very different version of Becky Lynch, and that's not necessarily from a physical side. She always had it in ring, but we're seeing someone who is not just here to go through all the proper channels, to shake all the hands, to pay deference, and I think we've seen elements of that. We've seen a lot of our superstars talk about how Nikki Bella has paved the way, they've shown her respect, and that's not something that Becky is willing to do. She is not going to kowtow to Nikki. And look, Nikki, you talked about the Divas era. Nikki has 2 championship titles here in WWE. She was Divas champion. The Divas championship has been retired since 2016. She has not held a title in this new era. But I know we're seeing a version of Nikki who is very hungry. She has made it very clear she is not just here to say hello to fans and say this is my last run. She wants to win championships and titles. She just hasn't done it in a very long time. And the version of Becky Lynch we're seeing is one who is very sharp. She's at the top of her game. She has had to compete against the best contenders week in and week out with no real breaks the last several years.
Yeah, and I'll say that I will turn a mirror to Nikki Bella. When you use the word desperate, for me, Nikki Bella is someone I went through the developmental system with. I think she's fantastic. She was absolutely, for my money, the best of her era and did everything she could have possibly done. However, she is now trying to recapture former glories. When you talk about desperate, to me, the desperate one is Nikki Bella in this situation. Desperate to prove she still has it against this new generation that have changed the game.
Well, Wade Barrett, you look your age. Nikki Bella doesn't look anything like her age. In fact, Nikki Bella is completely different now than she was before. She is a changed person. She's gone through so much in her personal life to get here today. And she did a great interview with the Today Show a number of months ago. And they asked her about coming back to WWE. And she said, this time around, I'm finally going to do it for me. I don't want to please anyone else. I'm not worried about my sister. I'm not worried about the locker room. I worry about the WWE fans, and I worry about myself. This is a very focused, this is a very different Nikki Bella. She's matured. She realizes what her priorities are now, and I think she's extremely dangerous heading into this match tonight.
Yeah, she's clearly not the same Nikki she was even just a few years ago. And I think as you get older, having your motivations change. Now, she talks about her son. Every time I see her, she's talking about how much that means. And I think having that motivator is a big reason she's going to have one of her best matches and best performances we've seen in a long time. And this crowd is just heating up.
Real quick, who wins?
I got Becky retaining.
Yeah, I got to go with Becky Lynch. Too much experience, too much ring rust on Nikki Bella. Prove me wrong, Nikki.
Well, they're into it already, and I'm going to pick, however, Nikki Bella. Massive upset here tonight at Clash in Paris. Well, you hear the fans. They're filing in. We're going to have over 30,000 here tonight, and they're starting to get into it here. We're just a little over an hour away from our premium live event. Well, speaking of premium live events, how about this one? Two champions, one night. Boxing's biggest names collide on Saturday, September 13th, a week from this coming Saturday, when Canelo Alvarez faces Terrence Bud Crawford in an epic showdown at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com or elevate your fight night with VIP ticket packages at OnLocationEXP.com/Canelo Crawford.
Boom. Thank you, Big E.
Welcome to the official Riyadh season opening ceremony 2024.
Live from Riyadh.
Round two.
This October, John Cena lands in Perth for a full-scale WWE takeover. It all starts with SmackDown, ends with Raw, and in the center of it all, Cena takes the spotlight for one of WWE's most massive nights. WWE Crown Jewel in Perth. 3 nights, 1 epic weekend. All at RAC Arena. WWE TakeOver, Perth, this October. Tickets on sale now.
Tiffany, though, and start her up for the win and a kick at 2.
My goodness.
Belly to belly. Cover for the win. 2 retain. Stratton kicks out. And Bayley can't believe it.
Take a look at this. Bayley trying desperately. Didn't get all of the Bayley to belly as much as she normally likes to. Effective nonetheless. Deep hook of the leg, but Stratton with a little too much left in the tank. But if you're Tiffany Stratton or even Naomi at this point in the matchup, you cannot become complacent because Bayley is a veteran. Bayley will continue to provide different looks to her offense until she secures a win.
Yeah, triple threat rules. You can't rest. Got to be on your toes at all times. Matchup can be over with a blink of an eye. Stratton now, the champion on her shoulders. Gonna roll through with a senton, and now Stratton's got her where she wants her. Looked like she was gonna go up top or after the moonsault. Naomi dragged her out of the ring.
Naomi playing spoiler from the outside, which is a smart decision. Naomi again preserving her own opportunity to become WWE Women's Champion. Kicked off by the powerful Stratton. And here we go again. Look at this. Back into the Alabama Slam, but reversed. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, look out.
Oh my God, right on the announce table, spine first.
Stratton just broke Naomi in half. And Bayley may be in for a similar fate.
Now to the French announce table. Stratton with Bayley up. And Bayley spine first on the table. Tiffany Stratton is dominating. Will it indeed be Tiffy time here tonight?
Stratton's got daylight. the past, if Stratton is looking for the double prettiest moonsault ever, we're going to have a new champion.
And I think she is. Stratton glancing back, looking to climb up to the top rope. Oh, they moved out of the way.
Stratton rolled through.
Naomi, though, double team neck breaker. Almost a 1D. Naomi would be very familiar with that move.
Reaching deep into the playbook for that one. And yet again, Bayley finds herself.
And now the two friends, Bayley and Naomi, look to battle it out for the WWE Women's Championship, and here we go. Bayley promised she would not back down, that she'd take the fight to Naomi, and here we go.
Both women unloading the heaviest artillery they've got left in their arsenals. Step up Enziguri downs the champion.
Shoulders down for the win. Bayley now reverses. Will she win? Got her! Got her! Bayley got her! Bayley got her!
Here is your winner, and still the WWE Women's Champion, Bayley!
Absolutely incredible match, and in the end, Bayley survived as she took out her longtime friend Naomi. What a performance by all three of these women tonight.
Welcome back to the countdown to Clash in Paris, France. We are live from inside of La Défense Arena. It is the largest venue in Europe, and oh my goodness, it looks absolutely spectacular. Clash in Paris is brought to you in part by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. All right, we are now officially 1 hour away from kicking this thing off here in Paris, France. Jackie Redmond tagging in for Michael Cole alongside Peter Rosenberg and my guy, Big E. What's going on, guys?
Not much. It's good to see you. Good to be here in Paris.
How's your French?
Abysmal.
Okay.
Yeah, it's bad.
Really bad. Mine's really bad.
Really?
Oh, now yours should be good though. This woman did. I don't even follow Jackie Redmond on Instagram. She did everything there was to do in Paris this week. You got it done.
When in Paris, I mean, you have to do the things that everyone does. So yes, I've been all over Paris. The people have been absolutely amazing, and I have seen WWE T-shirts everywhere, at the Eiffel Tower, at the Louvre. Every single place I went, I saw WWE fans, even at Versailles as well, which is like an hour away. But it's been amazing. But tonight is the night.
Yeah, oh, it's the night, all right. Tonight's the night we find out whether Paris makes Lyon look like trash.
Oh,
I want Paris to show up on a different level than Lyon even showed up at Backlash.
Look, you don't have to worry about Paris. This crowd is going to be incredible. I promise you. They're going to be, we would do live events here in front of 10,000 people packed years ago. Look at this. This crowd tonight is going to be incredible. Rosenberg, who you talking to? You don't know Paris. You don't know Paris. This crowd here, these people here, you better act like you know Paris. You better act like you know.
I know now.
Come on.
I'm starting to know.
You see him? Come on.
Listen,
he's
getting
man
them going.
Here got me fired up. He's talking about the Paris crowd. Like this won't be the best crowd of the year.
Listen, all I know is that
now.
before this show starts, you do need to at some point gyrate for the people.
No, those days are over.
No more gyrating.
I'm done. I'm too old for that.
By the way, if he starts gyrating now, do you know what the sweat situation is going to be by the
post show? It's already bad.
No, it's bad.
Already rough.
Can we get a big man towel for Big E, please? We got a sweat going.
Look, my fiance got the fan under here. Look, between breaks, I'm fanning off. I'm
you
good.
Really do have the fan.
Yeah, I got the fan. Don't worry.
Listen, you are always dressed to the nines. I appreciate you getting the people going as fans continue to file into La Défense Arena here in Paris. We are less than an hour away from Clash in Paris, and we've got a heck of a card, which includes, by the way, the Tribal Chief versus the Tribal Thief.
This is calculated chaos.
Oh my God.
The bigger the star I destroy,
Roman Reigns is in the drop zone.
the more my stock rises.
Here goes Reed.
Methodical, terror.
Tsunami to Reigns!
Roman Reigns? I'm reading online and on social media that I schoolyard bullied you because I punked you out like a 5th grader in front of his schoolyard friends. Not once, but twice.
A man that put Roman Reigns down. The owner of the Shula. And Roman Reigns was not man enough to get back up. Big Bronson Reed.
I'm going to add to my collection until you acknowledge your tribal thief.
Is back! Superman punch! Look at the power! This place has come unglued! Well, Roman Reigns just screamed at Bronson Reed, "I'll see you in Paris." And the Orcella says he's ready.
I'm not the same guy as I used to be. The Vision, they took everything from me. So they had to find something to take from me. I miss you, my tribal chief, which is why I came out here to disrespect you. What you need is the tough love that a wise man, an oracle, can give. I'm not man enough to beat that tough love into you, Roman Reigns, but he is.
Roman Reigns, it is about disrespect. Your tribe from Samoa is civilized. My tribe isn't. Your tattoos, all paid for. Mine, earned. I'm the Samoan that your dad and uncle warned you about. You're gonna find out why. I am going to force you to acknowledge your tribal thief.
Here we go! Reigns and Reed! And the fight's on! And Bronson Reed is just wiping out security guards. Look out! And the Orcella is unleashed. Oh, and a Superman punch by Roman. The OTC into the fray. Roman's ready for war in Paris.
Oh, it is on between the original tribal chief and the tribal thief, as he likes to call himself. Listen, Bronson Reed has said some interesting things over the last few weeks, right? He's called this calculated chaos. He has said, you know, I'm the Samoan your dad and uncle warned you about. He's obviously robbed Roman of his precious footwear. And that's all good and well. But this is still Roman Reigns we're talking about, a man that ran this place for years, plural. Do you think Bronson Reed has bitten off more than he can chew, despite the fact that he has so much support around him?
I like this version of Bronson in that if you want to be the guy, if you're trying to be elevated to that point, you need to go against the biggest names in this industry. And he went right to the very top in Roman Reigns. And I think Bronson Reed is someone who probably is asking for a little too much at this stage. But I want that out of these young guys. I want them to have that hunger and that fire to think, yeah, I'm coming right for the big dog. I'm coming right to be at that very top spot. So I think this is going to be a massive challenge for him. I don't know if he gets it done, but I love the mentality. I love that this man doesn't have any fear. He is not worried about who he's standing across the ring from. I like that we're getting this version of Bronson Reed.
Yeah, Bronson Reed borrowing from old school John Cena, maybe a tad of thugonomics in this version of Bronson Reed that we're seeing with the Shula Fala. This is a fascinating matchup because I think it's so big for both of them. Like Bronson Reed, this is why he's here, right? We've seen him sort of start and then stop before, right? He's had setbacks with the injuries and things of that nature. Now he has an opportunity to take out the most important player in all of WWE. But on the other side of that, you have Roman Reigns, who brought it up just a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown when he said, I don't have my wise man. I don't have my title. They've taken everything from me. So Roman Reigns is in a much different place than he was in a few years ago. And you never thought you'd say Roman Reigns is desperate for a singles win. He's kind of desperate for a singles win.
You know what? You say desperate, I say hungry. And a hungry Roman Reigns to me is terrifying. I'm like, I don't need the OTC to be motivated and feeling like Bronson Reed maybe with the whole Shula Fala thing, right? Like, we laugh about it, but like, he's trying to embarrass this man by taking his shoes and walking around with them. I would not want the smoke from Roman Reigns because he doesn't have all of those things, but to me it's like, having all of those things slowly sort of ripped away from Roman Reigns is the very reason why Roman Reigns is waking up. And I think in having new motivation and having a new drive to kind of accomplish something and establish himself as still, one of the big dogs on campus.
But what I think is really encouraging about Roman Reigns is we often the last several years is when does Roman make the jump to Hollywood? When does he say goodbye? But he's made it very clear. I have big plans this year. I have big plans for next year as well. And I think he also sat down with Stephanie and talked about the fact that he wants to do both. I love to do the movies. I want to go to Hollywood, but this is still my bread and butter. This is still what I do. So I think Bronson Reed would benefit from being across the ring from a Roman Reigns who is not focused, who is worried about his other endeavors, but that's not a Roman Reigns that we're getting here tonight.
And the craziest side note to this story is, I introduced Bronson Reed to Reggie Saunders at Jordan. This is the guy at Jordan. The same day, the man starts stealing Jordans. I tried to make
you're
it
to blame. This is you.
No, I tried to get him a hookup, and this man now wants to rob Roman Reigns for sneakers week after week. Either way, in all seriousness, it's made an impression, and I think it's made all of us in the WWE Universe talk about Bronson Reed in a different way.
100%. I think that is spot on. No matter what happens tonight here in Clash of Paris, and I believe that match is kicking off the evening tonight in Paris. So what a start it's going to be, by the way, in less than 60 minutes. But I think you're right. We're talking about Bronson Reed way more than we were even just 7 months ago. So that's a win in anyone's minds, I would think. You mentioned Stephanie McMahon. Her podcast is getting all the headlines lately. I mean, huge guests. You were on it recently as well. You sat down with Stephanie and had a wonderful conversation.
Pregnancies are getting announced.
The pregnancy announcement happened on Stephanie McMahon's podcast. I mean, this is where you got to go for all of the breaking news, I think, in WWE these days. But Roman Reigns did sit down with Stephanie McMahon recently, and we've talked a lot about the relationship between Roman and Paul Heyman. He does not have his wise man anymore. Of course, they had to talk about it on Stephanie McMahon's podcast. Take a look.
What would you say is your fondest memory with Paul Heyman?
In the ring, it's tough because
so many moments.
Yeah, and someone asked me what's my greatest moment, and I can only just say the title reign because
the whole thing.
The whole thing was magical.
It really was.
During the entrance, a lot of times he'd tell me because I don't slap my arm,
right.
But we all get them. Everybody gets the goosebumps. You get the goose flesh. And
when it's working.
And when it's when it's that magic's happening for sure. And he would always point it out behind me. You could never see him say it, but he's like, "You got him again," or he'd say "I can see the goosebumps," and that feeling to be able to go through the storm together. You know what I mean? Get to the eye of the storm. I always cherish that. The long flights, going to Saudi, breaking bread and just talking. Being around him and his kids, too, is very cool. I really enjoy just being a fly on the wall and hearing him talk to his children, how they talk to him, how their dialogue sounds and goes. Look, we named him the wise man for a reason, and if you're around him long enough, it's hard not to pick up a lot of just diamonds and gems. Although he drops them left and right.
He does.
And a lot of times there's intention behind it, but I think too, it's just who he is, and he doesn't even realize he's doing it. So
I agree with that.
But I hate his guts,
Well, I know.
Right now, Roman hates the guts of one Paul Heyman. So let's talk about the wise man. Oh, hang on. The crowd's making noise here at La Defense Arena. Are you ready, Paris?
We're getting there.
They're getting warmed up.
We're at a 6.5 right now, I'd say, of where we could get to by the time this show happens.
You're going to stop disrespecting this Paris crowd, all right? They're going to run you out of town.
Listen, I have a high bar.
Look.
Here we go. We're getting there.
Let's go. Let's go.
Building.
Okay, it's getting better. It's getting better.
God, it looks incredible in here tonight, though.
It does.
This is going to be a special. I didn't even know how special it was going to be until I walked in the building tonight and took a look around. It's going to be incredible.
It is, and we are getting closer and closer to Clash in Paris here at La Défense Arena. In Paris, we talked about Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed, that match kicking off the night here, but elsewhere on the card, the Tag Team Championships are on the line. The Street Profits want their tag titles back. They have the opportunity tonight against the Wyatt Six.
For everything, there is a season. Time for all matters under the sun. A time to be born. A time to die. A time to sow. And a time to harvest. When we returned, we vowed to expose the liars. I have proven over and over that I am a man of my word.
The tag team division was a rotting carcass, putrid with hypocrisy, duplicity, and charlatans that had the audacity to call themselves brothers.
Brotherhood is not bound by greed, but cemented by the unbreakable bond of blood.
With each trial, the cracks in their foundation spread like a sickness.
I take no pleasure from suffering. But I would be the liar if I didn't expose the truth. The truth that the threads holding you together is withering away like a flower. My family has proven their bond through sacrifice and selflessness, dying to the flesh. And they have been showered with gold as a reward. We will not let you take that from us. We will not let you take that from us.
We see you.
You think you're fighting to take our accolades? This is a battle between you and your so-called brother, fighting for your very own survival. Everything you believe is at stake.
How much longer can your egos withstand?
The season has changed. The hourglass has emptied. The reaper is here for the harvest. It is finished.
Yes, the Tag Team Championships are on the line here tonight at Clash in Paris after the match was made less than 48 hours ago on Friday Night SmackDown. The Wyatt Six defending the titles against the Street Profits, who have been trying to get those things back. Let's check in with Kathy Kelly backstage.
Yeah, guys, thanks so much. I am here with the Street Profits and B-Fab. And let's take it back to SmackDown on Friday. Bo Dallas trying to get in your head saying that you're not family. So clearly it didn't affect your mindset heading into that #1 contenders match, but does it at all now?
Kathy, see, that's Bo's problem. He thinks that he knows. But what he's about to find out is that the only real family here is the Street Profits. Side by side, back to back for 8 years and counting. Sometimes the thickest bonds aren't found through blood. They're found through battle.
Sounds about right. And I do have to bring up, you've only had about 48 hours to prepare, so do you feel ready?
You heard what she said. We've been doing this for 8 years. Of course we're ready. 48 hours ain't nothing.
Exactly. I mean, if it was 4 or 8 hours, the boys are always ready. The Wyatts took the titles from my boys, and tonight they're going to do the same. That gold is coming home.
Sounding very confident heading into this evening. In the meantime, let's send it back out to the arena.
Kathy, thank you so much. We heard Kathy ask the question, are you ready? This match just got made 48 hours ago, but of course the Street Profits always have their eye on the prize. With the Wyatt Six, they're a different sort of mountain to climb, right? There's the wrestling aspect, and then there's the mind games. We just saw a glimpse into that in the package.
Yeah.
How do you prepare for someone like the Wyatt Six?
Well, can I say, going back to that interview, the vibes were very off.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah, we see a very gregarious Montez Ford. We see a lot of energy. I was very somber. We didn't hear Montez at all. Didn't say a word.
Somber or serious?
Serious is one thing. I'm expecting a level of intensity, a level of focus, fired up. We've seen that from the Street Profits. We haven't seen Montez. I don't know if he's checked out. I don't know what's going on here. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying this is not the Street Profits that we know and love.
These are very different tag teams, okay? Over the last few days, you know, Montez Ford probably dropped 15 racks at the Gucci store. Do you know what the Wyatts were doing? The Wyatts were rolling around in slop, some random farm up in northern France. Well, apparently some people love it.
I love it.
Myself included. But my point is, these are very different tag teams, very different mentalities. And what you saw is sort of an oddity in terms of Tez's behavior. I sort of liked it. I did see a real brooding intensity. These guys are trying to get these championships back. It has been too long for the Street Profits to not have gold around the waist.
Really quickly, because we've got to go to break here in a second, but you heard Dawkins talk about, we've been at this for 8 years, right? They've been trying to carry tag team championship gold for a while. They had it for a brief moment. They want them back. They've been a tag team for a long time. If they are unsuccessful tonight at winning back those tag team titles, do you think that there is a possibility they start to contemplate a different path?
I think very much so. We look at SummerSlam, seeing these two afterwards go in separate directions. They're at an impasse here. They really, really need this. I love those guys. I think they're immensely talented, but something's got to change.
All right, we shall see the Tag Team Championships on the line tonight here in Paris as we inch closer and closer to kicking this thing off at La Défense Arena. You can see this place fits a lot of people. Coming up on the other side, we'll talk about Rusev and Sheamus, who go one-on-one in a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. That's next.
Standing at 330 meters or 1,083 feet, the Eiffel Tower is the same height as an 81-story building and welcomes nearly 7 million visitors every year. Named after its engineer, Gustave Eiffel, and belovedly nicknamed La Dame de Fer, the National Monument was built in celebration of the 1889 World's Fair to honor the 100-year anniversary of the French Revolution.
Their bodies ache, their lungs are burning. It is a matter of pure will.
It's about being undisputed, the best in the world, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. Reigns wants to keep it, McIntyre wants to win it.
Neither man willing to give an inch to his opponent. It is breaking down in Cardiff.
What a slugfest by two of the premier athletes in the world today.
Spent and still swinging.
And again. Superman punch. McIntyre on his feet. Glasgow kiss. Reigns on his feet. Spear by McIntyre. And McIntyre feels it. 62,000 plus feel it. The end of the reign. Claymore.
We're gonna crown a brand new champion.
Somebody just yanked the official out of the ring. McIntyre was gonna win.
Oh my God. That's
Corey, that is Solo Sikoa, the Usos' younger brother.
the street champion, the meanest of the bunch.
The NXT standout, Roman Reigns' cousin, another member of the Anoa'i family.
Well, McIntyre's had enough, but Solo hangs through across the top.
By Reigns. The cover by Roman. Thanks to the bloodline, Roman Reigns retains the title.
Here is your winner, and still the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, Roman Reigns!
You had to know Roman had something up his sleeve.
When it comes to the bloodline, they are as deep as they are dangerous. And tonight, Roman Reigns retains.
We thought it was over. The Claymore. McIntyre to climb to the top of the mountain. And then the official was pulled out of the ring by a man who would reveal himself to be yet another member of the bloodline. The youngest brother of the tag team champions, the Usos. Roman Reigns' cousin, Solo Sikoa. And off that, the spear by Roman Reigns to retain his title. 734 days and counting for the undisputed WWE Universal Champion.
Tonight, Roman Reigns defiantly crossed enemy lines and won the war for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. United Kingdom, acknowledge him.
Paris is home to several architectural marvels, including the Louvre, the Palace and Gardens of Versailles, and Luxembourg Palace. The Louvre, originally a royal residence, is now the world's largest art museum. The Palace of Versailles, located outside Paris, once served as a seat of royal power. And Luxembourg Palace, built in the 1600s, now houses the French Senate.
Welcome back to Countdown to Clash in Paris, presented by Cricket. With fast and powerful nationwide 5G coverage, you can stress less and smile more. And oh my, it is getting louder by the second here inside La Défense Arena in Paris, France. And why wouldn't they be? We are just over 30 minutes away, and one match on tonight's card features Sheamus versus Rusev. Listen, I work on Monday Night Raw. These two have fought everywhere except for Paris. They have fought backstage. They have fought in the loading dock. They have fought in the parking lot. They cannot get enough of each other. But everything changes tonight when they go one-on-one here in Paris in a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match.
This will be a brawl. Rusev and Sheamus. It all began when Sheamus believed that Rusev was being a bully to the Alpha Academy and stood up for Tozawa and company. It's fun! One of those blows would send me to the hospital for a month. Exposing the turnbuckle. Whoa! Broke first into the steel.
Kudos to Sheamus for hanging in this war, but tonight belongs to Rusev.
When I came back, did my so-called friend Sheamus come to congratulate me, or did he run to pick a fight?
I know what Sheamus already knew, that I'm better than him, tougher than him, and superior to him.
So guess what? We're having a rematch! You didn't think we were done after that, did you?
Looking to end this one early with a bro kick. Here we go. Buckle up, grit your teeth.
Rusev is taking control. Rusev exposes the turnbuckle once again, looking to win in controversial manner for the second straight time. Rusev bounced off the exposed turnbuckle. The official doesn't see Rusev with a shillelagh. Sheamus beats Rusev for the first time.
Welcome back to the WWE.
But now Rusev with Sheamus' shillelagh.
I will no longer listen to people who tell me who to hurt. I will now hurt anyone that I wanted to.
Rusev not about to accept defeat at the hands of the Celtic Warrior.
I am coming to break your mind, body, and spirit.
The Celtic Warrior's on a rampage.
Thanks to me, the world remembers who the real Rusev is.
Yeah, you want to see? Something's got to be done about this.
And cross your parents, get all out of your system. You know good old fashioned gunning from.
I want to try and rip me bleed the head off. I want the old Rusev back.
Your lack of suffering ends now.
Get in between these two at your own peril.
Don't forget, I made you relevant again.
You picked your own poison, my friend. So my conscience is clear of what I'm about to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome le guerrier celte, Sheamus.
Bonjour, fella. Comment tu t'appelles?
Nadir.
Je m'appelle Sheamus. How are you doing, fella? Are you excited?
I'm super excited.
Well, I see thousands and thousands of French fans who cannot wait for this PLE to happen, mate. It's the Clash in Paris, one of the greatest cities in the world, and we are literally just hours away from some of the greatest matches, including my own, may I say, me and Rusev in a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. Are you ready?
Super ready.
What would you call a match like this, by the way?
A banger.
After 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 banger. But you know what? We are in Paris, Gay Paris, as they say, so we should throw a little bit of French flair in this, should we not? So how about this? A little chant, see if it gets off the ground or not, I don't know, but just for an honor of the French, we go, ooh, ah, fella. I said, ooh, ah, fella. Ooh, ah, fella. I said, ooh, ah, fella. Ooh, ah, fella. I said, ooh, ah, fella. Allez, le bleu, let's go, brother.
Jackie, Biggie, Peter, back to you guys.
Nadir, thank you so much. As you can see, Sheamus fired up for this match, as is the crowd here inside La Défense Arena in Paris, France. It's incredible. You hear Sheamus call this Donnybrook match a banger. We've heard that from Sheamus before. Biggie, what's the thing you used to say about big dudes?
A little big, meaty man slapping me. We're going to get that tonight. Look, Jackie, I've been waiting to talk about this match. I am so excited. In fact, I think I'm going to wear a bib in the back because of all the drool. When I watch this match, I'm going to be slathering.
All the delicious big meat.
That's right. Look, this match is going to be incredible. These two men, since Rusev has come back, they have elevated each other. This crowd here tonight is going to get a classic. This is my match of the night. I think this match is going to steal the show. These two are going to bring it. These guys together, they make magic together, man. I don't know who wins that. I'm not here for analysis for X's and O's. I'm just telling you it is going to be a barn burner because those two men are going to hit each other time and time again as hard as they can.
So from the second they had their first match, there was that Monday Night Raw, and at the time it sort of felt random. Like, oh, okay, we'll see Sheamus and Rusev have a match. Oh, I'm never mad to see Sheamus and Rusev have a match. A lot of history there. And then halfway through that match, I saw Big E jump out on Twitter and say, oh, I need to see a series of these. I need 7. We need classics, and everyone has been incredible. But I got to ask you, E, when you're in a match that's this hard-nosed, this hard-fought, that many chops, what do you feel like at the end of a night like that?
Look, I had a Falls Count Anywhere match with Sheamus, and the next day I had a herniated disc. I felt like I needed 2 weeks of rest and ice. These two men are going to take a piece of each other, but this crowd is going to be the winner. That's who's going to win, because this match is going to be incredible. But promise you, they're going to be an ice bath, going to be stretching for a long time after this.
There will be pain here in this Donnybrook match between these two. And I thought it was interesting as well. You know, Rusev in an interview said this is the biggest wrestling match he has had in a pretty long time. I think this means a lot to him. I think he's here to show out to the people in Paris and for the people watching at home. And I love that you've already called it out. You're like, this is the match of the night. That is your prediction, unprompted. You just threw it out there. So I'm excited to see what happens in this good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. But we also have to talk about tonight's main event. The World Heavyweight Championship on the line in a fatal 4-way. Seth freaking Rollins defending against not 1, not 2, but 3 very stellar opponents, one of which is LA Knight, who is so hungry to win his first ever World Heavyweight Championship. I had the chance to sit down with him one-on-one in an exclusive interview earlier this week. Let's take a look at what he had to say. LA Knight. Welcome. Yeah, exactly.
So you were trying to set me up there.
I was kind of, yes. Thank you for paying it off.
Sure.
Welcome to the Countdown Show.
You stepped on it a little bit, by the way.
I know. Listen, do you want to redo it?
No.
Are you sure?
Let's roll with this.
All right.
Let's keep it a little ugly. It's okay.
We're off to a great start. When people hear the name LA Knight, there's a couple of words that come to mind, right? Yeah, of course. Megastar. I think another one is probably confidence. So I wanted to ask you, when you look at the WWE roster as it is right now, it is absolutely stacked. How do you maintain your confidence when you're surrounded by so much talent?
I don't think that you can do what we do and not have a certain level of confidence that is above and beyond. At the same time, you got to check that from time to time. You got to consider your surroundings. You got to consider the things that are going on. You think about Sunday's match. You think about 4 men that are in that match, and the other 3 guys, they've all been to the top of that mountain. This guy hasn't. So in that regard, I got to figure my own space, actually be a little bit self-aware of that, but still have the confidence to say, I can be where they've been.
I think it's a safe assumption to say winning a World Heavyweight Championship in WWE is on the bucket list.
What bigger moment could you have?
You've got not 1, not 2, but 3 opponents.
Sure.
Do you think you're the hungriest person in this match
I don't
for
see
this
how
title?
I couldn't be. Again, considering, let's look at the surroundings. Jey Uso's made a hell of a name for himself. He's broken off from the bloodline, done all that, gone on to be the World Heavyweight Champion. And with that being the case, my hat's off to him. Seth freaking Rollins, who I'll say is probably the most desperate. I don't think desperate makes you the hungriest, though. But here's a guy who joined up with Paul Heyman. Why? Because he had to. Joined up with Braun Breaker. Why? Because he had to. Joined up with Bronson Reed. Why? Because he had to. Because the man needed to be World Heavyweight Champion. He got that, and now he's desperate to hold on to that, and that's why he's got these guys around him. Now, with that in mind, you've got CM Punk, another guy who got to hold that title for, what, 5 minutes or something like that at SummerSlam before it was yanked away from him. Another man who's got to be damn hungry, and I got to say, he deserves his shot. Right now, it's my time.
Why is it LA Knight's time?
Why is it my time?
Why is now your time?
Look, it should have been my time a long time ago. At this point, we are overdue. You're going to consider the fact that what have I had since I've been here? Maybe 2, 3 world title shots? And a little small, ain't it? And you think about a guy who's made such an impact in this business, in this company, talk of the industry at certain times, and I've had that many world title shots. You don't think that I should be walking in this thing thinking that not only do I deserve more shots, but I damn sure do deserve to be holding that thing, walking around with it, defending it week in and week out. And that's exactly what my plan is. So whether it's my time or anybody else thinks it's my time, I'd say it's overdue to be my time.
A lot of times in life, people think they have a goal, right? A big goal, and they spend their life working towards that goal. A lot of people don't think about what happens after they achieve it.
Yeah.
Have you thought about that moment? And if so, how do you think you will feel in it?
Fleeting moments, I've thought about it. It's tough to allow myself to do that too much because then it's almost like it's happened and I feel like you can kind of lose the drive a little bit if you get that feeling, and I don't want that. So with that in mind, it's not something I've given great thought to, but when that happens, I mean, what am I gonna do? I gotta go party, right? We gotta have a good day. You coming out? What are we doing? Party bus, let's go.
I have no plans,
Everybody.
so I'm there.
Yeah, all right, let's do it.
Listen, I'm in, but until then, we appreciate the time. Our audience of the Countdown Show has been asking for a sit-down interview with you, so they're finally gonna get it.
Wait a minute. Are you finishing up with me right now?
Unless if there's anything else you'd like to say.
Hold on.
Listen.
I'm gonna break the fourth wall right now. Before these cameras are rolling, we're sitting here, we're talking.
Yeah.
And you were asking me something about yeah and yeet. What do you want to ask me about that?
Well, you know that there's going to be competing chants, right?
Sure.
Yeah versus yeet. There's a lot of similarities between you and Jey Uso.
Isn't that funny? Well, I'm going to tell you this. I already gave Jey his props, but when I think about it, and we take it back a little bit, and what, 2023, yeah gets really hot.
Yeah.
And then this other four-letter word starting with a Y just pops on the scene, yeet.
Are you trying to say maybe he took some inspiration?
I don't know, but then, call me crazy. I look at the glasses, okay?
Oh my goodness, you're actually making a sound argument right now.
I look at the glasses.
Yes.
And if you recall, I had some glasses with LA Knight on them. All of a sudden, I see glasses with yeet on them, don't I? Isn't that interesting? Did somebody get some inspiration? I don't know. But this man's here, and this man's coming into clash. So what I'm saying is whether it's Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, any single one of them that wants to see me about that World Heavyweight Championship, we can talk. Because, my man, at some point or another, I will be World Heavyweight Champion, and it just might be here at Clash in Paris.
Huge thank you to one LA Knight who has a massive opportunity here tonight at Clash in Paris. You guys, it's hard to disagree with him when he says he is the hungriest superstar coming into this match. My question for you is, does it matter?
Absolutely, it does matter in a match like this, especially because you're going to have to really dig deep against three of the best men we have on this roster. And LA Knight, who is someone who has not won a world championship. We have seen he's in the ring with Jey Uso, who was recently world champion, with CM Punk, who has one of the longest reigns in WWE history, with Seth Rollins, who has two of the greatest cash-ins, one of the greatest cash-ins, a great heist as well. You know, I think LA Knight, in many ways, like, he's on the clock. We see a guy who is 42 years old, still very sharp, but you have to think that there is more time behind him in his career than there is ahead. And you wonder, without that resume of multiple world championships on it, are you going to get more opportunities like this? So it feels very much like now or never for a guy like LA Knight.
It's funny that you mentioned the age of LA Knight, because I was thinking about that for this match also. I mean, Jey Uso at 39 is the baby of the bunch.
40, recently turned 40?
Just turned 40, sorry. Baby of the bunch in this crew. There are some veterans here. The average age, 41.75 in this match. I'm doing the work. You see that?
Wow.
Yeah, shouts to ChatGPT.
Oh, you didn't even use a calculator. Oh.
No, ChatGPT does the calculating for you. But so these are like incredibly experienced superstars that we have in this match. So I don't worry about this going the way of some other Fatal 4-Ways where you see people get very distracted by alliances, personal beefs, because everyone here has a beef. Right? I mean, maybe no one has a bigger beef than CM Punk, who should have the ultimate chip on his shoulder after Seth Rollins stripped him of his dreams. But all of these guys have some serious chip on their shoulder in this match.
There are chips on shoulders. There are personal beefs between certain people. There's also friendships, though. There's also people in here that do get along. CM Punk, Jey Uso come to mind.
You
but
mean
we saw
the
Jey
man that
Uso.
just got super kicked?
Yes, this is where I was going,
okay,
baby. Come on.
My bad.
So my question is, you see someone like Jey Uso, who's, you know, getting little whispers of advice from Roman Reigns about forget about working together, focus on yourself, focus on the task at hand, and winning the World Heavyweight Championship. You see Jey Uso do something like super kick CM Punk. What do you think?
I think that's all out the window right now. We talked about this earlier in hour one. CM Punk was trying to rally the troops to say, what is the plan if the Vision gets involved? And Jey Uso said, I'm not worried about that. LA Knight said, we're not worried about that. I think as far as getting on the same page, that's out the window. It's every man for himself, and if the Vision does get involved, figure out a way to get it done, because I don't see any alliances. I don't see any friendships. I see a focused Seth Rollins who potentially has the bronze on his corner, in his corner, on his side, and I think that's going to be so difficult for the other three to overcome.
Man, you know who's going to be having an interesting time watching this match?
Who?
Gunther. Somewhere going, how are all these guys in this match? Where's Gunther's opportunity? Like, it is very, very interesting that that's the man not involved in this match. And also think about for Jey Uso. He wanted to get his path back to this championship after losing. He had no idea this was going to be the path that would be taken. Of course, I assumed he thought he'd be dealing with Gunther. He'd be dealing with CM Punk. Now instead, you're dealing with Seth Rollins, the wise man, the vision, some people that Jey Uso knows all too well.
All right, so I want to know who your favorite is in this match. Does Seth Rollins retain? Do you pick somebody else? Who do you think comes out on top as the World Heavyweight Championship as they board the plane out of Paris?
I think it'd be such a feel-good story to see LA Knight win his first World Championship here in Paris. That's what I'm putting my money on.
Paris Knight. It's a nice thought.
Just say
you
that.
Just give me a wrap it up.
Just get to it.
That's a great story you just told. I'm going with Seth Rollins. He's got too many eyes in the building. Too many people looking out for him. I'm going with the
Really?
vision. Yeah, I'm going with Seth Rollins.
Okay, I guess time will tell as we get closer and closer. We are just over 15 minutes away from Clash in Paris. That Fatal 4-Way is our main event tonight, the World Heavyweight Championship on the line. You see the clock is ticking. If you can't be in Paris, Cosm is a pretty sweet place to be, right, E?
It is. I've been to the Cosm in Dallas. It is an incredible viewing experience. It feels like you're there.
It does. It has so much to offer for the WWE Universe. You can see some footage here from Cosm. It's a great time. It's a party. You can yeet till your heart desires and have a good time at Cosm if you can't get out to an actual premium live event. But we are here in Paris. The countdown to Clash continues next.
All right. Nice and easy.
Today, the greatest of all time, John Cena. The social media megastar, Logan Paul. Bring the fight to the City of Lights.
Logan Paul does WWE better than any wrestler.
Logan Paul, if you want some, come get some.
WWE Clash in Paris, today.
And Cody Rhodes handcuffing Styles to the rope.
AJ Styles in danger of falling on his own sword.
Somebody's about to get an ass whooping. By the champion.
AJ, you quit! AJ, you quit!
Screw you, Cody Rhodes! Styles has still got fight in him.
AJ may have no choice to retire after this beatdown.
Ooh, and again, chair right to the midsection. And now Rhodes, steel steps in hand. Remember, AJ Styles is pretty much helpless, handcuffed to the second rope. That key is nowhere in sight.
AJ Styles.
Think about this. If you're AJ Styles and you're handcuffed and you're helpless and the man just threw steel steps into the ring and you're watching this,
start praying.
We're way beyond logic here.
I quit!
Cody wins! AJ had enough.
It's a matter of self-preservation for the challenger tonight.
Wait.
Cody just locked eyes with his mother.
Wait, that was a message.
That final shot from Cody, that is a message to the entire locker room. High or low, I will match whatever level you want to take this to, and I will beat you.
Get on that level. Cody Rhodes, guys, was just screaming down to me based on a question that I asked him at the kickoff show yesterday. Can you get down and dirty when you need to? Cody Rhodes proved tonight that he could.
Here is your winner, and still the undisputed WWE Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes!
Cody Rhodes celebrating the undisputed WWE Championship in a brutal match.
We are live in Paris, France, a city that is over 2,000 years old, and La Défense Arena is the largest venue in Europe, and let me tell you, it is packed and getting louder and louder by the second as we inch closer to Clash in Paris. We are about 12 minutes away. Let's check in with Peter Rosenberg. Peter, what do you got?
All right, I am in Gorilla right now here in La Défense Arena, as you just said. I see all of the important players. Oh, Alicia Taylor is here. Alicia Taylor's here. And all the French announce team is here. This is the vibe you're going to see. Michael Cole is over there. No selling as always. Thank you, Cole. Never cares to see me very much. Superstars will walk through this curtain, and then they will enter this stage. And when they get out on this stage, they will see the Paris crowd for the first time. Ça va bien? Paris, ça va bien? This is the crowd that is going to bring the energy tonight at Clash in Paris. I have a hunch there are a lot of people here tonight, guys, who cannot wait to see the never seen 17 for the last time ever in Europe. Tonight, you will see John Cena on this ramp tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, you will see CM Punk walk down this ramp tonight. Paris, you will see Logan Paul on this ramp tonight. It is going to be epic. Everybody knows there are amazing crowds for wrestling all over the world, but tonight, Paris is intent on showing that they are the best crowd for wrestling on planet Earth. And with that, I'll send it back to Big E and Jackie. Oh, no, I'm coming to Big E and Jackie.
Get over here,
all right,
Rosenberg.
I'm coming, for God's sake.
We need you. I know it's fun to soak up all the attention over there, but you gotta share the love.
It's called cheap pop, Big E. You know about this.
Enjoy your moment.
Make some noise for Jackie Redmond and Big E.
Big E, give it up for Big E. Listen, I want to know how loud this place is going to get when you see John Cena. Yeah, it's about what I thought. A huge match for John Cena tonight, taking on Logan Paul, and really at the center of this, I think. What? I'm sorry, what?
They love Big E.
I love it here. I love these people. I love these people.
As you should, and we, the WWE Universe, love you. Just like we love John Cena, who is taking on Logan Paul tonight, and at the center and the heart of this match. Really, it's all about respect.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the greatest of all time. He is the never-seen 17, John Cena!
I'm afraid after I'm gone, you guys are gonna forget about me. But you and I, we've known each other for a long time. I plan on going down guns blazing. Every superstar just got themselves a big old John Cena problem. If any of y'all saw SummerSlam, you know that I am not going down without a fight. And to anyone brave enough to walk the aisle and stand on this canvas to face off with the last real champion.
John. Whatever version of you this is, John, it's making me sick. You turned into a charity case. You're out here just giving out matches. Oh, how about this? I want one. Right in the middle of France. Logan Paul versus John Cena at Clash in Paris. I mean, that's box office. That's headline.
You might have just made the biggest mistake of your life. Be careful what you wish for, man. You want a match with me? You sure about that?
Logan Paul does WWE better than any professional wrestler, and that includes you. Wrestling is changing, and I am wrestling. When are you idiots going to accept me? Because newsflash, I am exactly who I say I am. These people, they're gonna go online and call me an outsider. How? Who's the imposter? The guy who risks his life at every PLE for your viewing pleasure, or the guy who's been doing the same 5 moves for 23 years?
The term I keep hearing is Logan Paul is an outsider. Logan Paul is not an outsider. Logan Paul is a parasite. These people can see through BS, man, and they know you're here for the wrong reasons.
I put us on Netflix. $5 billion. Boom. I brought us to ESPN. $1.6 billion. Boom. The value that I bring to this company is incalculable.
Every single time I step in this ring, all I do is ask, what can I give to this business? Every time you step in this ring, you got one question. What can you take from this business? Because if after Sunday they still don't think you're worthy, you will not save wrestling. Hell, you won't even ruin wrestling. Wrestling will ruin you.
Oh boy, yes. In the next few hours, we will see John Cena take on Logan Paul. I'm going to ask you guys a question that I think a lot of people are asking themselves in the WWE universe, right? This is John Cena, the greatest of all time that we are talking about on his retirement tour, right? 1 year of John Cena. Why do you think he is gifting Logan Paul this match? Why does he care?
Look, that's a great question. This crowd's incredible. They really are. I think that John Cena sees something in Logan Paul. I think he sees a guy that if he gets his head straight, if he develops a real love and passion for this, I think in Logan, he sees someone who is only 30 years old. Look, we talk about the four-way, and the youngest guy in it is 40 years old. We're looking for the next superstars. We know we have Dominic Mysterio, we have Braun Breaker, we have some of these young guys. Logan's only 30. If he gets it right, he could be around for the next 10, 15 years at the highest level. So I think Cena sees something in Logan.
I think you're exactly right, Big E. Like, it couldn't be better said. He sees, as much as he may detest certain things about Logan Paul, he knows the absolute undeniable facts. The guy is a natural at everything. Logan Paul is not just incredible in the ring, he's incredible on the microphone. He can not only stand toe-to-toe with John physically, guys, he's standing toe-to-toe in promos with John Cena. John recognizes that. I think you're right, E, and as much as he may deplore certain things about him, I think he knows what he could be in the future, And I think he also thinks maybe I could teach this kid a lesson and make him that much.
Where is the heart? Where is the passion? Like, who are you besides a guy who is always looking for viral moments, who is always looking for clicks, for always looking for a way to rile people up? Who are you? Because moments, who is always looking for clicks, for always looking for a way to rile people up? Who are you? Because ultimately, just a guy who can have great spots, who can have these great moments, that's not what makes a great professional wrestler.
That's right.
It's tying it all together, and I think that's
Recently, talk about hustle, of course, but also loyalty and respect. And I think John Cena is of the mind, and his career, I think, is proof that he's probably right, that you have to give wrestling as much as you take from it.
Yes.
If you want to call yourself one of the best to ever do it, it can't just be, look at me, buy my products, give me my views. It has to be more than that if you want to be on the same level as John Cena. And I think John Cena is looking at Logan Paul and saying, oh, you think you know everything? You think you got it all figured out and you're like the greatest thing to happen to this business in however long? I'm going to give you a chance to prove it.
Yeah,
and if you do know everything, you'll beat me at Clash in Paris.
We're not just a vehicle for your prime and all your different things. Trust me, I know what it's like. I've worked at some places before that are iconic brands that are like the Giving Tree, and people take, you know the Giving Tree story, you take and take and take, but if you don't water that tree, all of a sudden it ends up barren, and I think John does want to emphasize that. But let's remember, for John, this is an important match as well. John Cena is coming off of what many people think is one of the best matches he's ever had. He's also coming off a period where he went on TV and kind of said, I've had a change of heart. And a lot of wrestling fans are like, what the hell just happened? How?
He saw the light.
Yeah, he saw the light.
Just like that, huh?
Some people aren't buying it, and they want to see John Cena put in work and take it out on Logan Paul here tonight in Paris.
Listen, I'd be remiss, though, if I didn't ask a very important question. Because Logan Paul has got himself a match with John Cena. Now, there's no title on the line, but if Logan Paul somehow pulls this off and walks out of Paris with a W over the greatest of all time, I don't even want to know what the obnoxiousness that we are going to have to deal with from Logan Paul.
It's going to be at another level. Thankfully, I don't think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see the best version of John Cena.
Wasn't it Jake Paul that taught us it only takes one punch?
That is true.
That is very true. But look, this is John's last match, not only in Paris, but in Europe. This crowd is going to lose their minds for this man. I think, we often ask before if John Cena is the same Cena that we saw 5 years ago, and we thought, okay, he's not anymore. But then we saw the match with Cody. We saw a version of John.
Capable.
Yes, and I think we're going to get that version here tonight.
Oh my gosh, I can hardly wait. This card is so freaking good tonight, but kicking things off here at Clash in less than 10 seconds is Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed, the Tribal Chief versus the Tribal Thief. Enjoy the show, everybody, and thanks for watching.
See you on the post show.
Today, WWE and Paris.
An absolutely incredible scene.
Create a masterpiece.
This is what World Wrestling Entertainment is all about.
WWE Clash in Paris.